Let's make a checkerboard in double knit. This is an exciting and fun design. It is totally reversible and super soft and squishy in the double knit, which is also very easy to make with this knitting loom here. It's really simple. I think it's much easier to knit a double knit on looms than on needles. So join us today and we'll begin making this stitch pattern and shifting over these. If you have not tried a double knit in 2-color, be sure to check out our video for this one here. We've got one color on one side, one color on the other, and we're just taking it up a notch with our reversible checkerboard. Join me today. Welcome to GoodKnit Kisses. We're all about helping you stitch your love and love your stitches. For those who are ready to dive into the sequencing of how to make this little sequence here, you can just jump ahead about 2 minutes. And if you want to know why I started where I did, or if there's more information, just come back, rewind back to this point, and you'll find more information here. So let's dive into some sort of housekeeping stuff. So first of all, if you want to have the written information and pattern, you're going to find that at our blog link, and our video description down below has all the links you need. You're going to find a video link to right and left-handed version of the video watching here on this checkerboard. You're also going to find a link how to connect it in the round for a cowl, because after this video I'm going to make another one how to connect these two pieces. But you're going to need crucial information of how to cast on, putting on your anchor yarn, knitting and making, just learning how to twist and put the sequence in easier in kind of a slower video, and then also how to bind off and do the finishing off of this area. So all of that can be found in this video here on our 2-color double stockinette. So a right and left-handed version of that will be down below. So you're going to have right and left-hand versions of the basics, right and left-hand versions of the checkerboard, and right and left-hand versions of seaming it together, which looks like this. So this one right here, now you can tell there is a seam here, but there is no hard seam. So if I've got this on my neck, you're not peeking in here and saying, oh, there's like a weird lump here. No, it's flat. It's nice and flush. And I'll show you how to put this together. So even though you're going to have a 2-color design, it's not like where it changes, it's not going to be seen through this. This is actually called a shoulder seam, and I'm going to show you how to do it. You actually work it on this side and you work it on this side, and it closes the whole thing up. So it's a great technique. We're going to have all of that down below, including the written instructions. So let's go ahead and jump into our pattern sequencing for today. This stitch pattern is a multiple of 5. You could say a multiple of 5 plus 5. That's fine, whatever works for you. I've got 15 that I've casted on. So for every block that you want to add, you're going to need 5 more stitches. So this loom right here won't carry another set, but there is a larger loom in this particular loom set that you could do. It has enough to do some more of these blocks here. So for this sequence, we are working 5 with color A on one side and 5 with color B on the other side, and then it switches up and it alternates, and you can see how it alternates up top here. It's very clear where it goes. Now go back to that other video so that you can learn how to cast on. You're going to be wrapping 3 times in the beginning, and then every row that you do after that, you're only wrapping 1 time, because you're going to knit 1 loop over 2. So you can see I've already knit over, and there's always going to be 2 loops on my loom until the very end, and you're ready to bind off. That information will be in the other video as well. So for our purposes here, we're going to pretend like you already know, and I'm going to go a little bit faster on the wrapping sequence. Right here, I'm actually on the end of my repeats. I'm working 12 in 1 color sequence, so 12 rows in a color sequence, and then I change it up to the next color sequence. So I have already worked 10 rows, and if I counted all of these stitches here, so if you needed to, you got off on your counting, you can come up here and count each little V. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I don't know if you can see it, 6, 7, 8 is the last one that I can see down here, and then 9 and 10 are up top. All right, so I need to go down one more time and then back. So I'm going to show you that part there. So when I do my sequence, it's going to have the same color on here, and it'll sort of disappear. When we begin, you can see that my strands are not crossed, and when I'm working the same color sequence, I always have to twist them. So I twist them first, twice, so 2 times, so that I can get the same color on the front as the previous row. All right, so it's twisted, and then I'm going to pinch it with my other hand, and then I'm going to twist again and place the next one and hold, and then I can twist the opposite direction, and we're twisting twice so that the color goes back to the other side. Then I'm going to twist the opposite direction again and come down and do another time for the 5th one, and then I'm gonna lay that on here. Okay, so it keeps my yarn from getting just too wrapped up if I keep going in the same direction. That's why I twist back and forth each time, and you'll see a much slower version on the other video. Now when it comes time to switch up the colors, you only have to twist 1 time like that, and you get the other color on the opposite side. It's that simple. And then twist twice to continue in the sequence that you just started. All right. So I'm just going to go down and do that. Okay, so if I keep twisting and come down here, I've twisted too many times. So I've done 5 and I'm on the 6th. So instead of doing that, you're going to take it and untwist it. So just twist it once. So if you find that you got off sequence, you'll have to go back until you get to that point and fix it. So keep going, and then make sure when you're doing this that you're keeping these lined up to where it twists in the middle. It can be off slightly. It doesn't have to be measured every time, but try and keep it in the middle. All right, now down to the end. And hold that, and now we're gonna lift up and over. So I'm just gonna lift that bottom one up and over. Okay. And then this one. There we go. And it's locked in. So now you can go ahead and knit this entire row. So that is 1 row, and then you're going to come back in the opposite direction to complete it. So because you're going 12 rows, you're basically going down and back 6 times, because you're knitting a row and then coming back. That's the 2nd row. So you're going to repeat that 6 times to make your 12 sequences. And that's for the yarn that I used. If your yarn is bulkier than mine, you may not need 12 rows. You may need 10 or 8 rows. All right, go ahead and do that. Pause your video and I'll show you the sequence coming back. And then we will start the 2nd color sequence. All right, pause your video. I will see you there. Okay, so we have finished that. We're going to turn our work and we're ready to go down to the end again. Same thing, make sure and twist it up to begin and go around those ends and hold it. Twist twice, place your fingers to hold, twist the opposite direction twice, place and hold, and you're wrapping 5 at a time in that color pattern, and then switch it up just by wrapping 1 time or twisting 1 time and then place and hold. And there you go. So it's the same as before, just a repeat going the other direction. So that's color sequence 1. Oops, and I forgot to switch it. You can see, like, hey, Kristen, you stopped your sequencing. So let's come back and twist it. Just 1 time where it changes, and then twice. I just get going on a tear and I forgot to do it. Okay. There we go. You can wrap the end to hold if you like. So those are on there pretty good. Some of them I got a little bit off. It's harder when I'm talking and trying to knit. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Lift up and over to lock those in. And then finish knitting over all of them. Pause your video and I'll meet you back for changing of this sequence. See you in a second. All right, so we are ready to start the second sequence. I finished it up. You can see I have a taupe and then a cream and then a taupe again. So now we're gonna work this one here. We're gonna work where we have the cream on the front and then the taupe and then the cream again. So you're going to twist this up only once and lay that color, the opposite color on the top on both sides. Twist twice and keep that up for 5 stitches. All right, now I'm down to my 5th one, and we're simply just going to cross it one time or twist once. And now you've got the other color on top. So you're gonna have 3 loops on each peg just as before. It's just that the top loop is going to be the wrong color. So opposite from the other sequence. Okay, twist once when you get to the next color change and continue. Okay, you can wrap that down at the end if you like. Hold on to it, lift up and over, lock it in. Up and over, up and over. Okay, so now we have our sequence and we're going to knit over all of those stitches, bottom over the top, and you will have one of each color left on your pegs. And then when you wrap for your next row coming back, it will get rid of the very last of the old color sequencing. So this counts as row 1 of 12. Okay. And then go ahead and wrap the next. Be sure and twist it twice now because we've already established our new color. Okay. And get that color sequence again. There we go. Switch it up after the 5 stitches. For the twisting technique that I'm doing, just be sure and visit that other video if I'm going too fast. Okay, I'm coming to the 5 again. Get the colors lined up with only the color that's on top, not the bottom one. There we go. All right, so once we knit these over, all the colors are going to be as we want for our new sequence. So I've done the first 2 rows and now we just have 10 rows left. So you can see once I do that color sequence, there's only going to be 2 of the right color that we're supposed to be on here. And just pay attention to what's on those loops. Okay, so you're just going to continue to repeat these. Mine, they get about 2 inches for every block. So about 4 inches for every 2 blocks. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. And then once I make this last set of blocks, that is about 24 inches, and then I will bind off, and then I will stitch it together in that video showing you how to close it off and seam it end to end to make it look like this. So it will make a nice seam on there. So join me for that video there. I hope that you have enjoyed this one. I would love to see yours. Tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see it. Thanks so much. Well, have a great day and happy knitting and crochet. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.